What up, world? Welcome to an episode of the BrandonJaneauShow. As you know, I am BrandonJaneau, and like always on all podcast platforms are aware. BrandonJaneauShow, social media platforms, Instagram, Threads, BrandonJaneau, Facebook, the BrandonJaneauShow, and of course, um, TikTok, BrandonJaneauShow. Yeah. So go follow me on all of those social media platforms. If you guys enjoy that. Really, where you can go is my YouTube channel, BrandonJaneauShow YouTube channel. Um, yeah, like helps in the algorithm if you like it. Uh, everything, man. So yeah, vid shorts, everything, man. Tonight it's wrestling life. Oh yeah. This Saturday I'll be back Saturday to do Backlash rate and review show. Uh, I think it's gonna stay 5 matches on the card. Please let it stay 5 fucking matches on the card. Do not overdo this shit. It needs to just be 5. Um, a match that got announced last night, which is Penta versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. We have a lot going on with that. Randy Orton, John Cena will have another match for the, you know, hopefully for the last time ever. Um, You got, of course, Jacob Fatu defending his U.S. championship for the first time ever since winning it against LA Knight, former U.S. champion, Damian Priest, a former U.S. champion, and Drew McIntyre, who actually, if he wins the Intercontinental Championship, would become a Grand Slam champion. He's never won a U.S. championship. That's shocking. But he's never won a U.S. championship. So if he actually wins the U.S. title, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Sheamus, who's trying to get the Intercontinental Championship to be a Grand Slam champion. Drew McIntyre, who's his best friend, needs the U.S. Championship to be a Grand Slam champion. What if that's the storyline? What if those two storylines kind of they push each other to get the titles that they never have won just to become the Grand Slam champion? And that's how, and they like make a pact like, you got to get the U.S., you got to get the Intercontinental Championship. All right, cool. And then they, all culminates at WrestleMania where Sheamus finally gets the title and Drew gets it. So yeah, but that's interesting. I never realized that until then. And then you have what else you got? Oh, and Pat McAfee and Gunther, who set up a fucking banger last night. I mean, goddamn. Listen, man, I'm not a fan of Pat's commentary. I think Pat kind of, I don't know. He's borderline into like he has officially kind of went into the annoying commentator shit. Um, yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I can't wait to when he finally goes back to college football. I can't. I'm not gonna lie. I can't wait to when he finally does go back to college football. But his promos that he has cut the last 2 weeks, I'm like, does this motherfucker want to be a wrestler? Because I would not mind if he does become a wrestler for special occasions. I wouldn't be mad at it. Um, but yeah, John Cena, Randy Orton, Gunther, Pat McAfee, Penta, Dominic Mysterio, Jacob Fatu, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, and Damian Priest. I had to count now. Oh shit. Yeah. Okay. Cena, Arden, Fatal Four Way, the Intercontinental Championship, Penta and Dominic Mysterio, Gunther and Pat McAfee. Oh, and Becky Lynch and Laura Valkyria, who also had a pretty good promo battle last night. So that's those 5 matches, and I'll be back this Saturday for those 5 matches. Raw last night was awesome, which is where I want to start off because Monday Night Raw is fucking amazing. I last night was so dejected. I was so tired. I was like, man, I ain't even gonna watch Raw. There's nothing gonna happen on Raw. Last Monday, it was alright. I didn't think Monday Night Raw last week was great. It was alright. It wasn't anything to write home about. Um, I get the storyline throughout the show was Sammy. Will he join? Will he leave? Will he stay? Will he go to SmackDown, or will he let Will he, stand up to Seth Rollins, Brian Breaker, and Paul Heyman? Last week was cool. I liked the match they even had on Monday night, Rhea and Roxanne Perez. Like I said, last week's segment between Becky and Laura was good. It was good. Becky as a heel is somewhat questionable. Like, her as a heel is somewhat questionable because it's hard to believe that the biggest baby face that you probably have made in modern wrestling history, and Becky Lynch, can really pull off being a fucking heel. It's hard to believe. I don't think it's possible. It's hard to believe. It's hard to get yourself engaged in Becky Lynch being a fucking heel. I'm sorry. It is hard. It is very hard to believe that Becky Lynch is a fucking heel, but she's a heel now. So they've tried this a couple times. The first time she really got over with the fans is when she supposedly turned heel on Charlotte. And people was like, no, we're not booing her. She was 100% in the right to punch Charlotte in the shit and beat the shit out of Charlotte at SummerSlam because Charlotte should not have been in that fucking title match. What the fuck did Charlotte do to get the fucking match? And then Charlotte won the belt. It was just like, why y'all doing this? Like, and then they try to like spin it like, oh nah, Charlotte, and then they try to like spin it and be like, oh, Becky's the heel. And fans was like, no, the fuck she's not. The fuck, like, no, the fuck she's not. What the fuck do you see that makes you think she's a heel? So yeah, I mean, so people was like, oh yeah, Charlotte's the face and Becky's the heel, and people were like, no, the fuck she's not. And that got her over as fast as hell. The second time they did this is when she came back at SummerSlam and took the belt from Bianca. That wasn't as bad. I thought that Big Time Beck's the character kind of mindset wasn't bad. I thought it was okay. It led to a really great fucking WrestleMania 38 match between them two, which was fucking phenomenal. Uh, I always say like that was the best two match stretch I think I've ever seen at a WrestleMania because you had literally um Becky and Bianca to kick that off, and then you had Seth and Cody. So right after that, so people forget that WrestleMania night one, WrestleMania 38 night one is still to me regarded as probably one of the best night ones I've seen in a long time. So they switched it, did the night one, night two. WrestleMania 38 night one was pretty fucking good. Like people forget how good that fucking night one was. You had Kevin Owens and Stone Cold closing out the whole pay per view. Like, yeah, man, that WrestleMania night one wasn't bad, man. It was a really good fucking WrestleMania night one. But Becky as a heel isn't bad. It's just Becky as a heel. It's not bad. It just takes. It felt like it felt like it takes a minute to like the Becky heel turn. It's gonna take a minute. One thing I do agree with everybody is that this Hill situation has literally broke Laura Valkyria out of her shell. Laura has not had a chance to really have a rivalry. And I don't think people actually understand that. She's not really had a chance to have a true rivalry with anyone on the main roster since she's been moved to the main roster. She hasn't had a real rivalry. They put her in like these stupid ass tag team, 6-way tag team matches and shit. It was stupid. But her as a actual competitor, like if you actually watched her at NXT, you know she can talk on the microphone and you know she can go in the ring. She's starting to kind of have those matches, and now she actually has the right opponent to get that energy off in the promo battles. And I like that. I think that Laura and Becky have done an amazing job together. Um, Last night we got treated to a World Heavyweight Championship match. Now, some people can sit there and say, I'd rather it had a build. I'd rather have been told that this was going to happen. All of these things. I like the fact that it was impromptu. I thought it was a great thing because it shows a lot of things. One, Jay Uso is not afraid to put the belt up. He believes that he is the world heavyweight champion. He's not afraid. A lot of these people are like, nah, I'm not gonna put my belt up against no fucking Seth Rollins. That's stupid. Seth Rollins is one of the best he's one of the best wrestlers in the business. He's actually had time to prep for me. I have no time to prep for Seth. He's going to beat me. I'm not doing that. The fact that he was like, no, I'm going to fight Seth. Like, whoa. Let's have this match. I like that. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it's actually a good thing that they do it that way. The so yeah, I'm not mad at the impromptu World Heavyweight Championship match. They did it pretty goddamn well. We finally now know what this new faction is technically after, because they haven't really said what this new faction. They've said we want power. That's all they have said, is that we want power. Okay. Now you now know to be powerful in their minds is to be the champion. Seth needs to be champion. That's all the fuck I needed. That's all I needed to know. What that meant. So to me, to have Seth actually fight for the title is just a precursor to what is going to happen eventually. But yeah, I loved it. I thought that was a great way of finally showing everybody, like, no, this is what's going to happen moving forward. Like I said, Monday Night Raw was great. I think Monday Night Raw was awesome. SmackDown, not so much. I have not watched. I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched a full SmackDown in like 3 weeks. I haven't watched like a SmackDown in like 3 weeks. I'm not enthused to watch SmackDown. There's nothing about SmackDown that's fun. I don't care. Now, where people sit there and say there's no stars on SmackDown, that's not true at all. I don't believe that. Where I do believe what's wrong with SmackDown is this is what I would do. This is what I would do with SmackDown. If I am Triple H, I would walk up to Paul Heyman and ask him how much money would it be for you to be now the lead creator of SmackDown. I'm still gonna be the head. I'm still gonna say yes, no onto some shit. But for you to be the lead booker of SmackDown, what would a lead creator of SmackDown? I'll still book it, but you're the lead creator of SmackDown. What would it take? What would it have taken? And for me, I think if I was Triple H, I give the reins to SmackDown to Paul Heyman. I give the reins to Paul Heyman. I, I would let him have. I would let him handle SmackDown, because it's to the point now where the shit is unfucking watchable. It's, and I'm a wrestling fan, bro. I love wrestling. Like, I will watch the shit, but the shit is unfucking watchable. You got a bunch of fucking people that just you don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Like, I would give the reins to Paul Heyman like the 2000s. I would give the reins to Paul Heyman and say, hey, man, do whatever you can with SmackDown. I would let him create a new SmackDown 6 like he did back in the day. This will be my SmackDown 6. Aleister Black, Carmelo Hayes, Aleister Black, Carmelo Hayes, uh, Andrade, uh, Santos Escobar. Who else? That's 4. Who else? Uh, shit. Who else? Who else? Now people say, what about LA Knight? What about Damian Priest? What about those are the main eventers? Those are the 4 guys I believe can move up one day and be challenging, could challenge Cody, Roman in a sense, but Cody in a couple years. Like Logan, like LA Knight, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu. Those 4 are the main eventers of SmackDown moving forward. But Carmelo Hayes, Aleister Black, Andrade, Santos Escobar, Humberto, and Ray Phoenix. Those 6 would be my SmackDown 6. Those 6 men would be my SmackDown 6. The tag team division, you have the better tag team division than Raw. Just build them properly. Street Profits, DIY. I would actually move one of those teams to Raw. I would consider moving one of those teams to Raw. Me personally, it would probably be DIY. I would probably move DIY back to Raw because Raw needs a technical tag team, a technician tag team. They have one in the Creed brothers, but they need a technician tag team. DIY would be perfect on Raw. But that would be my SmackDown 6. Humberto. Now I know people are gonna be like, you'll break up Angela Garza. Or what about this? Maybe you move, maybe you move, you break up A-Town Down Under, and you let Austin Theory go to SmackDown. And let Austin Theory be a part of the SmackDown 6, which would not be a bad idea. Like let Austin Theory be a part of the SmackDown 6. You could keep the tag team together, him, Humberto, and Angel Garza. But Austin Theory goes in, and he's the SmackDown 6. So it's Austin Theory, it's Carmelo Hayes, it's Aleister Black, it's Ray Phoenix, it's Andrade, and it's Santos Escobar. Like I would give the reins to Paul Heyman. What y'all are doing with Raw, particularly also with the women, why are they not being shared on SmackDown too? Because the women's division on SmackDown, as much as you're probably thinking in your head, we got Tiffany Stratton, we got Jade Cargill, we got Naomi, we got Nia Jax. Like we're good. No, man, you need younger, fresher blood on that roster too. I'm not saying you have to move Julia and Roxanne and Stephanie on all SmackDown. But so Ruka, Zarya, Kalani Jordan, Jada Parker, like they can all be used on SmackDown. And through put some energy into the SmackDown women's division like you're doing right now with the Raw division. Actually try. And that's the thing. Like actually try. But SmackDown's damn near unwatchable. I'm to the point now where it's just like I can't watch SmackDown. I'm trying, but no Kevin Owens. Cody Rhodes is on hiatus right now. Kevin Owens is injured. Randy Orton and John Cena are fighting. John Cena is barely on TV. What are we doing? Like Roman Reigns, who's actually supposed to be on SmackDown, is never there. This is starting to feel like when Roman Reigns had the belt in the bloodline and he was just never there. SmackDown was struggling to find that true number one guy, or at least the caliber of guys that can carry the brand. Right now, it's the same shit. Cody's gone. Kevin Owens is gone. Roman Reigns is gone. You need something. You can't have LA Knight in the middle of the fucking. You can't have LA Knight in the middle of a show. You can't have. You can't have LA Knight in the middle of a show. You can't have Jacob Fatu in the middle of a show. If we're gonna do this, close the shit out with them guys. That's why I say they're my main eventers. They are the four guys that I could put on at any moment. Drew McIntyre, LA Knight, go out there and have a match. You're the main event tonight. Go. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, and Jacob Fatu. Y'all the main event tonight. Go. LA Knight and Jacob Fatu. You're the main event tonight. Go. Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. You're the main event tonight. Go. Now, a lot of people probably sitting there saying, what about Solo? What about Solo Sikoa? I am not high on Solo Sikoa as a wrestler. I'm just not. I wish I could say I was, but I'm not. But if you can use them, use them. I mean, use them, use them. I mean, I'm not high on Solo as a wrestler. I'm just not. But if you can use them, use them. One thing else that was going crazy on social media was this past Friday was the WWE releases. Now, a lot of people got in their feelings. A lot of people on social media, y'all get. This is what I don't like about fake ass outrage. Everybody that got released, every person that got released has either been hurt or was not truly used to their best, purpose at that time in WWE. I saw a lot of people saying, "Oh my God, I can't believe Dakota Kai got fired." That's like the massive one, right? Dakota Kai got fired. Dakota Kai never really reached her potential in WWE, and I would easily say that. The problem though with that is also on her. She was never healthy enough to reach her full potential. Y'all wanted people to give her a belt, and she was never fully fucking healthy. That's a problem. Y'all are just trying to be mad at shit that don't make no sense to be mad at. Dakota Kai was never fucking healthy. It's hard to create a create storylines for somebody that's never fucking there. I think Dakota Kai is a really great wrestler, but she has to stay healthy. Same thing with Cora Jade. Cora Jade is in the same fucking boat. If she would have just stayed healthy, I think her and Roxanne would be in the same situation and not Roxanne and Julia. But the fact of the matter is, it is what it is. You can get mad at that shit all you want, but she was never fucking healthy. That's a problem. Braun Strowman is the only person I really hope that doesn't go somewhere else and try to wrestle again. And I know that sounds bad or whatever. The reason why I say I don't want Braun Strowman to go somewhere and have to wrestle again, Braun Strowman knees are fucking through. His body is through. Like, bro, I've joked with my family about this before, but I'm really being honest. There's no way in hell I watch that man run like he has ran in certain situations. And listen, shout out to Braun Strowman. What you did when you came back, you have finally put over Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu. But let's pump the brakes on Braun Strowman. Let me explain this too. Shayna Baszler, who also got fired, Braun Strowman. These two people particularly. Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler should have been the Raw Women's Champion in 2020. Fuck that. I even go so far to say Shayna Baszler should have won the Royal Rumble in 2020. She should have won the Royal Rumble in 2020. The fact that Shayna Baszler lost the Royal Rumble and she came out at 30. She eliminated everybody and then got eliminated by Charlotte Flair. Vince McMahon, ladies and gentlemen, Vince fucking McMahon. And then you have her go into the Elimination Chamber, dominate every woman. She is the first person to eliminate every fucking first woman to eliminate every fucking person from the field. I mean, literally, she was the last person out the pod and eliminated every single woman. Asuka, Natalya, Liv Morgan, I think was in that Elimination Chamber. She eliminated everyone. Went on to fight Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 36, and proceeded to lose. And you hear Becky say, I wanted to give Shayna the belt, but Vince McMahon had the last call and he decided to keep the belt on me. A couple months later, Becky had to relinquish the belt technically because she got pregnant. If you would have just gave the belt to Shayna right then and there, Becky exiting Raw at that time would have been like, no, that makes sense. Like, yes, go. But the fact of the matter is you fucked over Shayna's push because Vince didn't understand what the fuck it was. That's just point blank period. Like, and yes, did Triple H make it better? No, he didn't. He put it in a fucking bullshit group that didn't make any fucking sense. It just felt like he could not get her back over the way he had her in NXT. Me personally, I would actually have sent her back to NXT and see if we could build her back up from ground up. But a lot of times it's like you can't do that. Shayna's push was killed on arrival in 2020. There was nothing else. The rest of the year she was there, she was just floundering. She had nowhere to go. Same thing with Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman's push was killed the moment they did not give him the belt against Brock Lesnar. His push was killed. Braun Strowman should have been the one to beat Brock Lesnar, take the belt, and had ended Brock Lesnar's 600 days. He should have been the first person to end it. He should have ended Brock Lesnar's streak. He should have ended that streak then. Braun Strowman could never. Brian finally did win the belt. He won it in a pandemic WrestleMania against Goldberg. Yes, that's who the fuck Braun Strowman beat to win the Universal Championship. He beat Goldberg. And the only reason why he got that match is because Roman Reigns didn't want to work WrestleMania. He got that match. He won the belt. And then for the next 2 pay-per-views, he battled against Bray Wyatt. One match wasn't even for the fucking belt. One match wasn't even for the belt. It was like a what was it? It was at Money in the Bank, and he was fighting Bray Wyatt. And then another one, he fought him at, I forgot what pay-per-view he had fought him at, but it wasn't even for the belt. And then he fought Bray at I think SummerSlam. He fought The Fiend. The Fiend came back. And he fought The Fiend at SummerSlam. And he lost the belt to The Fiend at SummerSlam. That was the night Roman Reigns popped back up and became the tribal chief. And then the next fucking week, by the way, him and Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns had a triple threat match, and then he lost the belt. And then Bray lost the belt to Roman Reigns, which created the tribal chief. People forget that Roman Reigns' first title defense was not Jey Uso. His first title defense was Braun Strowman on a Friday Night SmackDown. It was a random ass Friday Night SmackDown. Roman Reigns fought Braun Strowman. And he beat him. And that was the end of it. And then I think he got fired. Maybe he went to Raw and fought Drew McIntyre and Bobby Lashley for a while. And then he got fired. But it was just like, what the fuck are we doing? Braun Strowman's push got killed the minute Vince McMahon just decided to not push him. He had a monster and decided to not push him. I don't understand it. Not saying you had to put the belt on him and keep it on him. I mean, this is a man that put the belt on Big Show like 4 or 5 fucking times. Like, you put the belt on Big Show 4 or 5 fucking times. You could have easily gave Braun Strowman the fucking title when he was the hottest thing on the fucking card. I'm not saying you had to keep the fucking belt on him, but God almighty, be smart. God damn it. Oh, that shit was so stupid. Yeah, some of these releases, people that are like over the top with it and be like, oh my God, I can't believe they got released. Really? Can't believe they got released? Get the fuck out of here. Stop it. Stop it. Here's the thing. I wish everybody well that have just gotten released. But this fake ass outrage, oh my God, I can't believe such and such got released. Jakara Jackson's the one I would kind of say is the weirdest one. She shouldn't have gotten released, but at the same time, this is more, and this is the thing. And I know people are gonna sit there and say, well, they didn't have to release her, but this I think also precursors until this tells Lash Legend, it's time to sink or swim. This is yours. We could not push this tag team further than this. So for her to now, for them to get rid of Jakara Jackson, this is literally Lash Legend's moment. Will you sink or swim? Yeah. Before I get off of here, like I said, Backlash is this Saturday. Here's the thing: WWE is about to do something that's very suicidal to a wrestling fan. They have Backlash this Saturday. 2 weeks from now, they will have Saturday night's main event. The next night is Battleground, NXT Battleground. And then the week after that, it is Money in a Bank in Los Angeles. So that's literally in the span of what, 3-4 weeks of each other? You're about to have massive fucking events. And I think they got a Saudi show in like June as well, June 19th or some shit. This is why I say they're running a very dangerous risk because you're trying to. We need you to spread this shit out. And you're not spreading it out. It's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like, okay, chill. And this is also why I say You can hit on Raw, but you got to give me something on SmackDown. Because now I don't give a fuck about those SmackDown storylines. There's nothing interesting on SmackDown. Cody's not there. Kevin Owens is not there. John Cena's barely on there. Roman Reigns doesn't show up for work. And when he does show up, he's going to be on Raw. What are we doing? We need to build something on SmackDown. We actually need to build these characters. And they have not known, they don't know how to do that yet. And that is why I say give Paul Heyman the reins. But WWE is running a very risky situation, which is you're putting a lot of people, you're putting us in a very bad situation because wrestling fans are getting tired. And then on top of that, you got Double or Nothing with AEW coming soon. And that's on May 25th, which is the same day as NXT's Battleground. That's a way different conversation. I'll talk about that shit when it comes. But wrestling fans are getting fucking tired. And the WrestleMania fatigue is starting to really hit. You didn't have a great WrestleMania. You didn't. Raw is saving your ass by the skin of its teeth. But you need to figure this shit out. This is starting to get a little tiring. And I believe in you, but this is getting tiring. But that's it. Like I said, Saturday, I'll talk to you guys Saturday. I'll be back to do Backlash, rate and review show. Excuse me. But until then, this is Wrestling Life. I'm BrandonJaneau. Peace.